Yeah. Watch I crash. Welcome back, everybody. I'm a Jade Monkey, and we're back here in Rust, and we're talking about the zero-tier monuments, or the monuments in Rust, to help you springboard, get that loot, that scrap, those components. And your first wipe day, that's coming up soon for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox, the PS5, the Series X and S Rust console beta. And we did recently get word that the beta is going to be happening. And hopefully by the time you're watching this, you're either playing it or it will be very, very soon. And, you know, just after that will be the full release. So all these things will be new to you, and I promise you, we're going to be showing you things to help with the hurts. There's still plenty to learn in this game, so let's get right into it. So it's a zero-tier monument here, but don't let that fool you. There's still very important things here at the Dome. Even though there's no cards to get necessarily, or a puzzle outright, there's still plenty to do and plenty to get. Okay, this monument, even though it's a zero-tier monument, you will still need at least 10 rad protection. And in this case, since we're sitting out in the winter biome, we're going to need more cold protection. So in this case, I'm going to take off my standard gear. I'm going to put on things that would be more first early game. I'm going to put on, a lot of times I tell people, bring your trash gear and then throw wooden armor on top. It helps a lot. Like, it helps with rad protection, but it helps with cold. And it's cheap. You don't need a workbench. You're good to go. Look at this. We got, look at all low tier stuff. Okay, first thing, I need to craft this. And we'll be good. Okay, so a lot of the essentials. You're going to want to bring a crossbow. You're going to want to bring a bow if you can. And if you can afford it, a nail gun. Again, nail guns don't require gunpowder or anything like that. They just require metal fragments for the actual ammunition. So it's nice. A lot of times you'll see us pop people with a crossbow and then switch to the nail gun and finish them off, and they're pretty much done so. And you can pick up the ammo just like the bows. Okay, well, that's crafting. I think we're almost done. There we go. There's my sleeping bag. Here's why. This monument is extremely dangerous. Probably more for me than anybody, because I definitely fall a lot. Let me try to find a good spot here. And this will just make it so if you fall or somebody catches you slipping, you can spawn back. I'm trying to place mine too. And by the way, I'm here with Razor from RazorTube, part of the Boyfriend Squad. Say hello.
Hi.
Hi. So let's see how many. There we go. There's one. We'll call this one Dome Max, baby. Okay. So let's go ahead and head back over to the Dome. So the Dome is a puzzle in itself, like a jumping puzzle, more or less. Again, it's super dangerous for me, because whenever it has to count, I am the worst at jumping. Just, yeah. So, all right. So one of the few things you can find down here are these red barrels. These red barrels contain low grade, and low grade is the lifeblood of any vehicle in this game, whether it's air, sea, ground, you name it. And again, you've got these little guys. Let me pop one. There you go. You've got crude, and then you have the low grade. The helicopter that we came in, Helo, that takes low grade when it flies around. So you're going to have to put that in the engine. And on that same note, the crude oil, if you have wood, you can burn the crude oil in a refinery. We call it the bubbler sometimes. And then one of these little shacks on the outskirts, you can open up and throw in the crude. And if you space it out like so, bingo, it'll start to make low grade. Well, charcoal is a byproduct. And then low grade, come on out. Yeah, so if you're flying in here on a Mini, you're definitely going to want this. And you just be careful, because when you do this out here, it's always highly contested. There's good loot here, low tier, high tier. People driving up, flying up, it's going to be crazy. All right, let's go over here real quick and show these silos. Look how many of these red barrels are. That's crazy. And again, if you live around one of these monuments, it's really good. It helps you springboard into the progression much quicker. Just because of the sheer amount of components and scrap that you can get in something like this. Okay, so these silos here will have barrels on top. Oh yeah, by the way, I bring at least 6 or 9 bandages to just help with people shooting at you and you stopping the bleeding, but also from you falling to your death. All right, there we've got 2 of the standard barrels, a blue barrel, and again, more of the red barrels. These are interconnected. At least the 2 here are. But just a side note, this is one of the places you can bail. If you're trying to go down the dome and leave a different way you came up, this can be one of the exit routes. You can drop down from here, take minimal damage, and then come down the silo. A lot of times people aren't going to notice that, especially if you kind of creep crawl your way out of there. More barrels, more red barrels. And over here, if you're trying to get more of the barrels themselves, you can see even more over on the third silo, the one that's not connected. So let's go back down and let's go ahead and head up to the jump puzzle, or the puzzle that is the dome. Now, I guess in the future, this will eventually be, I think, called something else. They might even rework this, but for the most part, the dome's always going to be good. I like Rust that it creates these points of interest where there's better loot, so it pushes players there, so you have more interactions, but then it's high risk, high reward. And you'll see, this definitely turns into that the more and more you start to climb this structure. Okay. This is one of the entry points here. Also note, sometimes you can see some more barrels down here. Sometimes a crate or two, but I think these are only barrels on the bottom. But it's worth your time to just take a little peek. Then you'll have a little food here. Food's always good for regaining your health. Also water. Let's go ahead. I hope I don't fall either. Alright, so when you walk up this main pipe, you can see another crate there off to the right. You will have to dismount that. It actually kind of pushes and slides you around if you're not totally on the top of this. So just, I don't think it'll be as hard for us on console, PlayStation or Xbox, because I think the dual analog kind of, it lends itself to this type of maneuvering. And then right here, you've got this small pole you're going to want to walk up. I think it's probably harder for a mouse and keyboard for this kind of stuff. And then you're going to enter the dome itself. And again, if you don't have rad protection, you are going to melt. Just know that this basic gear here, I mean, look at that. I'm 21 rad protection. And if you have a hazmat suit, that's even better. All right, so let's walk here. Gonna climb up. We see another crate here in the central portion. Just show you some of the loot that you can get. Now we're going to branch off. This will lead upstairs, but we're going to show you what you can get down here. And sometimes you'll fall down here and you have to recover your teammates, so that's why we're showing this. Another crate. Bam, gears. Oh, gears are always so good. It's a force of habit to just pick those up. Down here you've got another barrel, and again, these are places where you can kind of creep and sneak up on people. This place is riddled with locations that you can just kind of get people by waiting around a corner. Yeah, camp. Yeah, pretty much camp. Alright, so let's move out to the midsection here and do the external puzzle. Watch, I probably will fall, and I'll probably have to do like 5 takes of this. Just you wait. Okay. Just remember, when you're creeping up this thing, I'm making a ton of noise with my dirty little feet. So control or crouch for us on console will definitely be a thing. And I do know there will be a toggle crouch for both PlayStation and Xbox, so we won't have to worry about that. I mean, that would really hurt the old thumbs. Alright, so you jump up these blue barrels here, and then work your way up to the ladder. And again, as Razor was saying a while ago, these jumps can be a little confusing because, yeah, you can kind of make it here, but you're going to drop down and then work your way back up. And then here is one of the first jumps. You're going to want to speed run and then jump onto this pole or pipe. now I'm getting nervous. Now I'm getting sweaty. And then speed jump to this one. And in our case, we're holding shift and forward, so there's going to be some form of boost or running button. We'll go over here. Now I'm really getting nervous because the hardest one's coming up. So we go right here. This is where I fell earlier. This is kind of a tightrope walk here across. I would suggest taking that slowly. Coming around to the inside again of the dome in the upper portion. We've got more crates. As you can see, there's a theme here. As you go up higher and it gets more risky, the loot gets better. Oh, there we go, a revolver. Man, that's first game, top tier, baby. Woo! We got a fuse to do the puzzle monuments later. Oh, okay, here's the rough one. All right, so just a little side note. If you're really feeling extra risky, you can take this one and walk the tightrope over to that crate, and then returning over this barrier is probably the more difficult part of that. But this one here is tough because you're going to jump a little bit later than you think, but not too late, but not too early. So you definitely want to run and jump. So here we go. Run and jump to the beam. Okay, I made it. Okay, lucky. And so we're walking up here to this next section. I'm amazed I made it, to be honest. And then up here, and be careful not to be pushing too far to your left or right, because you can still definitely fall to your death. You know, may or may not have done that many times. We've got more barrels here. Yeah, it's happened a lot. More barrels there on the way up. You can definitely hit those with melee or shoot them with your nail gun if you're so inclined. But just remember, all this stuff makes a ton of noise. Now, you can either take the walkway, but you can get extra sneaky. You can crouch and creep up here. There's a lot of different ways you can kind of slip your way around there. But be careful, there is also a hole here on the top that you can fall all the way back down to. There's a theme.
Yeah.
So as you walk around here, go ahead.
I was going to say, the dome has many, many, many dangerous falls.
Yes. Oh, side note, as we're walking past this, you see this camera up there? That's a functioning camera. If you have a, is it a workstation? No. Surveillance station?
Yeah, the camera station.
If you have that and you type in Dome 1 exclamation or uppercase and then the number 1, it's the camera, and you can access cameras like this, so you can see a real-time feed and see if anybody's landing up here, or you can hear noises. It's pretty cool. So as you go to the very top of the dome, this is the treasure. 4 military crates. Let's just take a peek. Tech trash, so top tier. 8 scrappy doodles. What else we got? A camera. And again, if you don't like the camera or you have no use for it, again, cameras are used in the construction of turrets. You can also place them on your own structures to view through the workstation or the computer station. I think it's called computer station. Or you can grind them up for even more scrap and tech trash. This one. Oh, rifle body, smart switch, and more scrappy doodles. We're rich. Now, we did stick another rifle body, F1 grenade, and 8 scrappy doodles. So one of the reasons why I put a mini up here is a lot of the times people will enter this. I mean, you can see the best tiers on the roof. If you are lucky enough and rich enough in this game to have a mini and you can keep it, you can fly your way to the very top, loot, and then get out. You still have to have rad protection. But it's an excellent way to loot this. Like, check it out. If I'm down by Razor, you want to jump on? If he's here. I don't know. Maybe stepped away. Yep. Looks like he is AFK. AFC? AFK? KFC? As we go up here, you can see you can just fly straight in. And yes, you can get shot off to the helo. If your friend's aboard in the front, they can shoot back too. If you have a good enough pilot, which I do strongly believe that it'll be much easier for us to fly with dual analog sticks for PlayStation and or Xbox. You know, think Battlefield kind of helicopter flying. But anyways, you come up here, land pretty easily. Just make sure you don't get it stuck under the rim. Pro tip. That applies to a lot of things. And you can loot and then just dip. So it definitely makes it very viable in a high traffic zone for a lot of people. So expect a lot of fun from this location. Oh, as a matter of fact, right here. See this black barrel? That's diesel. You can use that for some of the other monuments like the excavator, or only the excavator, I believe. But if you're ever looking for diesel jumps, they can spawn up there. They're the black barrels. But yeah, the dome is a great place. I would strongly suggest building a base close to this or having access with a helicopter to go back and forth, because it's always good to get military crates. So yes, if you found this useful and helpful, be sure to drop a like. And if you're not already subscribed, consider if you think that's something you're going to watch. We're going to be doing plenty of Rust console, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Specifically, we'll be playing, or I'll be playing on the Series X, but it's all the same thing because we'll all be playing together. And it's going to be great, and I cannot wait for this. So hopefully we'll see you in the next video / live stream. Love you. Bye!